We do have some special guests here today that I wanted to introduce. Nick Porter.
I'm here to make an announcement. So, we are working on getting all of our staff put together for the Fit City Center. We're going to do a lot. We're going to continue to have all of the senior programs that we have, all the meals that we have, and with Verna Joe's retirement next month, we have some shoes to fill. We're also going to combine that position with some of the other programs we're running for health and wellness throughout the city, for some of our tot and toddler programs. So there's a lot to do with programs that will be happening at the Fit City Center and with the seniors. So today I wanted to introduce to you the two people that are going to take off and run with all of the programs, including all of the senior programs that you enjoy. So we have a program supervisor and a programs coordinator. And I want to invite them up and introduce you to Erica Demeester and Leanne Valet. So you know Leanne, she's been serving as the kitchen manager. She'll continue that role. We've combined that role with the programs coordinator. And I think some of you know Erica as well. She's been the health and wellness coordinator for the city. She'll continue in that role and will add to her plate some of these other things with the seniors and with other programs. So give it up one more time for Leanne and Erica. And I'm going to put them on the spot and let them each share a couple things, maybe what they're most excited about as we get ready to open the Fit City Center in the fall.
Okay, hi, I'm Erica again. I am so excited for this opportunity. Ever since I started to work for the city of Spanish Fork, I have felt the heart and love that is here in this city. And so what I am most excited about is to bring wonderful programs for you lovely people, and programs for additional citizens like our little tiny tots that Nick alluded to, our youth, and you guys. You are the gem and heart of Spanish Fork. And I am just beyond excited for this opportunity. So please come say hi to me. Again, my name is Erica. I hope to get to know as many of you as possible. And I just really look forward to this opportunity.
Well, hello. Leanne is my name. I've been serving or working in the kitchen as the kitchen manager for the past 2 years. And I have loved it. More than cooking, I've loved getting to know each of you, or several of you. And I look forward to getting to know more of you. I've thoroughly enjoyed working with Verna and with Beverly and with all the senior volunteers that we have, because they make this place run. It's not just a few of us, it's all of us. With the kitchen staff, they're truly amazing. They not only cook, but they do it with a lot of love. And that will continue. We're going to continue that with a bunch of other programs like Erica mentioned. And I'm excited. I'm excited for what Fit City Center is going to bring to Spanish Fork.
So we've got big shoes to fill with Verna retiring, and we'll still see her. She's promised me she's going to come volunteer. I took it as a promise, not a threat. So, and then Beverly she's going to be there as well. So you'll continue to see her every time you come to the senior center. Okay, thank you.
Attention, hut. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Present arms. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, Spanish Fork. It's Heather Lyman, nurse with Aspen Ridge Home Health and Hospice. And I was combing through the internet to come up with a topic for today's segment. And I found an article that talked about 3 things to avoid after the age of 70. The first thing was avoid excessive alcohol intake. The second thing was avoid poor nutritional choices, poor food choices, and I didn't want to tackle either one of those subjects. But the third item caught my eye, and it was avoid social isolation. That's what I want to talk about today, because social isolation can lead to it can be a precipitating factor in a lot of other issues. People who are isolated, let's just talk about falls. If you have a fall in your home and you don't have somebody that's checking in on you daily, that can be catastrophic. People who are isolated tend to live a more sedentary lifestyle. They tend to, the television is their companion. And we all know that leads to all kinds of health issues. People who are isolated struggle with depression. It turns out that we actually need each other. We need that human connection. So what do we do about it? How can we be less isolated? Well, our own senior center is a great resource. The senior center hosts lunches, dances, they have all kinds of activities. They even have a painting class. Spanish Fork City, we have a beautiful new library, and there are always people that just flocked to that library. Go see the DUP Museum, or better yet, join the DUP. They are always looking for more members. And they're a great group of women that just meet and just converse. My mother is really active in the American Legion. She was the commander for a few years. And that's a great organization. If you are a veteran, they would love to have you as a volunteer. I was driving through Salem the other night and noticed that there is a store where you can sign up for a pottery class. So there's all kinds of things that you can do. But what do you do if it's hard for you to get out of your house? Well, something as simple as just go sit on the porch. I always see young families with strollers, people walking their pets, even neighbors that are doing yard work. Strike up a conversation with someone. We just really need to be part of the world. And it can be easy to be a senior and feel like the world's leaving you behind. My oldest daughter moved to Wisconsin. My youngest daughter moved to St. George. So my husband and I have set aside Sunday evenings to call them because we want to keep that connection. Your friends and family can be your biggest resource. I love getting phone calls from somebody that I haven't heard from for a long time. An old friend, a cousin, whoever. Be that person. Call somebody. I know that lots of you have 6 kids and 36 grandkids, so it might not be feasible to call everybody on Sunday, and it would take you all week long to call each one of them. But maybe pick 1 or 2 and call, work your way through the list on Sunday. I know that those older kids and grandkids sometimes are just busy, 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 and they might be too busy to talk. Maybe that first couple of phone calls will be a little awkward when you're calling a grandchild that you don't normally call. But I would sure love to get a phone call from my grandmother right now. The point is, I think that we need to get back to talking to each other, knowing who our neighbors are, just enjoying each other as humans again. So get out there. We love you, Spanish Fork. Stay safe out there.
It's time for Beverly. Hey, Beverly, tell us some jokes.
Okay.
Woo!
Well, this one says it's called Garden Snakes Can Be Dangerous.
Yeah.
And I never knew this. Snakes, also known as garter snakes, can be dangerous. Yes, grass snakes, not rattlesnakes. Here's why. A couple in Sweetwater, Texas, had a lot of potted plants. During a recent cold spell, the wife was bringing a lot of them indoors to protect them from a possible freeze. It turned out that a little green garden snake was hidden in one of the plants. When it had warmed up, it slithered out and the wife saw it go under the sofa. She let out a very loud scream. The husband, who was taking a shower, ran out into the living room naked to see what the problem was. She told him there was a snake under the sofa. He got down on the floor on his hands and knees to look for it. About that time, the family dog came in and cold-nosed him on the behind. He thought the snake had bitten him, so he screamed and fell over on the floor. His wife thought he had had a heart attack. Oh, no. So she covered him up, told him to lie still, and called an ambulance. The attendants rushed in, would not listen to his protest, loaded him on the stretcher, and started carrying him out. About that time, the snake came out from under the sofa, and the emergency medical technician saw it and dropped his end of the stretcher. That's when the man broke his leg and why he's still in the hospital. The wife still had the problem of the snake in the house, so she called on a neighbor who volunteered to capture the snake. He armed himself with a rolled-up newspaper and began poking under the couch. Soon he decided it was gone and told the woman, who sat down on the sofa in relief. But while relaxing, her hand dangled in between the cushions where she felt the snake wiggling around. She screamed and fainted. The snake brushed back under the sofa. The neighbor man, seeing her lying there passed out, tried to use CPR to revive her. The neighbor's wife, who had just returned from shopping at the grocery store, saw her husband's mouth on the woman's mouth and slammed her husband in the back of the head with a bag of canned goods, knocking him out and cutting his scalp to the point where he needed stitches.
Is this ever going to end?
The noise woke the woman from her dead faint, and she saw her neighbor lying on the floor and his wife bending over him, so she assumed that the snake had bitten him. She went to the kitchen, got a small bottle of whiskey, and began pouring it down the man's throat. By now, the police had arrived.
No.
They saw the unconscious man, smelled the whiskey, and assumed that a drunken fight had occurred. They were about to arrest all of them when the women tried to explain how it all happened over a little garden snake. The police called an ambulance, which took away the neighbor and his sobbing wife. Now the little snake again crawled out from under the sofa, and one of the policemen drew his gun and fired at it. He missed the snake and hit the end of the table. The table fell over, the lamp on it shattered, and as the bulb broke, it started a fire in the drapes. It's never ending.
No.
The other policeman tried to beat out the flames and fell through the window into the yard on top of the family dog, who, startled, jumped out and raced into the street where an oncoming car swerved to avoid it and smashed into the parked police car. Meanwhile, the neighbors saw the burning drapes and called in the fire department. The firemen had started raising the fire ladder when they were halfway down the street. The rising ladder tore out the overhead wires, put out the power, and disconnected the telephones in a 10-square city block. But they did get the house fire out. Time passed. Both men were discharged from the hospital. The house was repaired. The dog came home. The police acquired a new car, and all was right with their world. A while later, they were watching TV, and the weatherman announced a cold snap for that night. The wife asked her husband if he thought they should bring in their plants for the night. That's when he shot her.
Oh! Well, I'm sure glad that...
It's true. It's long.
It's a long one, but it's great. I'm sure glad that those first responders don't work in Spanish Fork City.
Oh, me too.
Oh, boy.
Hi, we just finished having just the best party ever at Spanish Fork Senior Center. We had a Kentucky Derby party. We started off with everybody picking their fascinators, which if you don't know what a fascinator is, it's a fancy little hat that we wear to the Kentucky Derby. Then we had a delicious lunch, and we had everything from pulled pork to Virginia ham to cheese straws, bourbon balls, roasted nuts, and of course, mint juleps. Then we all had fun just playing trivia and learning all about the Derby. and some of the history of it. We had racing forums. We gave a little breakdown on all the horses. We all decided which ones we wanted, you know, real scientific, like what color they are. And so then I don't usually pick a gray, but I did this time. But alas, they did not win.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby.
You know what? We had all these horses, all these racing forms, all this information, and not a single soul up here picked the winning horse. But we were all standing, we were all cheering our horse on, and then it was a muddy, sloppy track, but it didn't matter. It gave us a chance to wear pretty hats, dress up, wear our pearls, and eat really good food. And so we may not be attending Churchill Downs, but we had our own little Kentucky Derby party right here in Spanish Fort.
Oh, please, please, Beverly. More jokes, more jokes, more jokes, more jokes.
Okay, how about a few more short ones?
Okay.
My kids can pick up 100 Easter eggs hidden in the yard in just 5 minutes, but it takes 2 hours for them to pick up 5 toys in their room. Yep. And boy, don't I know that one. Oh, that's true. After 50, you're like an old phone battery. Even when you charge yourself overnight for 10 hours, by 10 a.m., you're at 60% or less.
Or less.
Warning. Do not give Rice Krispies to young children. I ate them as a child. Now when I stand up, I snap, crackle, and pop.
That must be my problem. Yeah.
That's a lot of our
Rice
problems.
Krispies, yeah.
Let's see. I want my children to have all the things in life that I can't afford. Then I want to move in with them.
There you go. There you go.
Let's see. A man is suing Smartwater for not making him smart. And I'd like to formally announce my lawsuit against Thin Mints.
Well, I hear you have to eat a lot of those to make it work.
Yes, you do. Okay, I have one that's a little long, but you might like it. A senior citizen drove his brand new Corvette convertible out of the dealership. Taking off down the road, he floored it to 80 miles per hour. Enjoying the wind blowing through what little gray hair he had left. Amazing, he thought as he flew down I-90, pushing the pedal even more. Looking in his rearview mirror, he saw a state trooper behind him, lights flashing and siren blaring. He floored it to 100 miles an hour, then 110, then 120. Suddenly he thought, what am I doing? I'm too old for this, and he pulled over to await the trooper's arrival. Pulling in behind him, the trooper walked up to the Corvette, looked at his watch and said, "Sir, my shift ends in 30 minutes. Today is Friday. If you can give me a reason for speeding that I haven't heard before, I'll let you go." The old gentleman paused, then he said, "Years ago, my wife ran off with a state trooper. I thought you were bringing her back." "Have a good day, sir," replied the trooper.
Run away!
Have you heard that before?
Yes, but it's
I
still
have
always
too.
a good one. Yeah, we like
But
that.
maybe nobody will remember, right?
That's true.
I can't remember.
always can hear it again.
You're right. You're right. Well, I have another long one if you want. I mean, it's not really long.
Okay, we'll go for the not really long one.
It's about another police officer.
Uh-oh.
And you
It's a lot
probably,
of first responder days, isn't it?
it is. It's a lot about first responders.
Okay.
They make a lot of jokes about things. The speed limit mix-up. A police officer pulled over a minivan that was crawling along the road at just 25 miles per hour, causing quite the backup in midday traffic. Inside was an elderly gentleman behind the wheel and a group of older ladies sitting silently, looking like statues, wide-eyed and clutching their purses for dear life. The officer leaned in and asked, "Sir, is there a reason you're driving so slowly?" The man replied, "Well, officer, I'm just following the speed limit. The sign back there said 25. Trying not to chuckle, the officer shook his head. "Sir, that's not the speed limit. That's the highway number. You're on Route 25. The speed limit here is 65. Oh, said the old man, eyes wide. Well, that explains a lot. The officer glanced around the van and noticed the elderly passengers looking extremely tense, stiff as boards, and pale as ghosts. He leaned in again. Is everything okay? The ladies looked a little shaken. The driver scratched his head awkwardly and said, well, officer, we just got off Highway 130.
Yeah, very good.
Yes, old people, you know how we are.
Awesome. Thank you, Beverly.
So I know this isn't a roast, but I'm going to start off with a story. So when Karen and I interviewed Verna Jo for this position, she bribed her way in. It's the only reason we hired her. She brought a basket to the interview, and we think it had muffins in it. Is that right?
Hurricane cake.
Hurricane cakes.
It's my favorite.
Okay. She brought her favorite cake to her interview for us. And it worked.
She was the only one that brought a treat.
Yeah, she's the only one in the interview that brought a treat, so she got the job. That's not, the story's true, but that's not really why she got the job. You guys all know how much we love Verna and what a tremendous job she's done here, so that's why we're having this celebration for her today to honor her.
I love people, and I love and appreciate the time I've had here at the Senior Center. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to serve my seniors and to learn from them and grow from them. The staff here, they've been like family to me. I try not to get emotional about it, but how do you not get emotional about people that you love and adore, people that you have great respect for, people that you know halfway babysat you through everything you had to do? One thing that I look forward to with the new staff that is coming in, you are lucky. You are lucky to be receiving a team that is fabulous, a team that will listen, a team that they are problem solvers, they are peacemakers. And I just think the new team that's coming on staff is fabulous. And I cannot wait to be a part of your volunteer team. You are so blessed.